The Nerd and Tie podcast is unsurprisingly part of the Nerd and Tie podcast network. From actual play to true crime to witchcraft, you can find more shows at nerdandtie.com or join our growing community at nerdandtie.social. Did you know you could sponsor Nerd and Tie? That's right. For just $20, we'd say your name, we'd say how cool you are, and we would high-five your mom the next time we see your mom. That's right. The offer's changed. Used to be we high-five you, and now we're going after your mom. Just go to nerdandtie.com and click on sponsor information. This month on Nerd and Tie, it is December, and you know what that means. It is time for our annual thing where we talk about the best and worst of the year that just occurred. We're going to talk about movies, new TV shows, stuff from Japan, video games, conventions, and, well, I mean, that's the list. That's the category list we do every year. But, you know, we'll probably talk about other things because that's the kind of people we are deep down in our hearts, and there's something fundamentally wrong with us. All that and more this month on Nerd and Tie. Welcome to Nerd and Tie, the only podcast on the internet with a dress code. I am one of your hosts, Trey Dorn. Joining me, as always, are the amazing Celeste Startwin.
Hey, everybody. Happy New Year.
And you can say that last name is Startwin. All right. And also joining us,
I guess,
is the wondiferous Genjamin Proc.
Yo, I'm not following the podcast dress code because I am in my schlubby.
This is an audio medium. You are wearing whatever you tell them you're wearing. I am in a lovely ball gown. Prove me wrong.
Deadpool lounge pants and an old sweater.
Just imagine there's a tie.
No.
Look, we've had this catchphrase for over 10 years, all right? 10 years ago, it was a dumb idea, and now we're stuck with it because it's a good name. It's a catchy name for a show, and it's in the logo, and we named a whole network after it.
Sure did.
we did.
But I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't worn a tie in like 5 years at this point.
I actually still sometimes wear ties depending on the cosplay. Like Mosh Kyrielite from Fate Grand Order wears a tie. So
There we go. Celeste carrying the tie torch for,
Yeah,
still
for all
carrying
of
the
us.
tie.
Excellent. One of us has to.
Red tie with a Chaldea logo on it. Yep.
It's even the right color for our logo.
Mm-hmm.
Although if you ever select out like the actual red in the Nerd and Tie logo, it is actually very desaturated. It looks like a darker red because of the lighting effects around it, and it plays tricks with your eyes. And so I'm always trying to figure out if, like, when trying to do red stuff to represent Nerd and Tie, I always end up picking a different shade than the one in our actual logo. Because it never looks dark enough on its own. Just a fun things with colors, guys, and context. And you know that optical illusion with like the cylinder and like the checkerboard grid and like this gray is that gray. It's doing all that stuff.
Fun.
Anyways, it's been it's oh yeah, I want to up front here just plug our forums once more. We have launched a new set of forums at nerdandtie.social because it may be 2023, but in our hearts, it's always 2003. And we launched a forum because we are fighting the centralized internet. That's what we're telling ourselves. But anyways, it's fun. You can talk to us. Or at least me and Celeste.
Yeah, see me muse about are we in the golden age of Godzilla? Signed, say yes.
One of our forum members has posted adorable photos of their pets, and I enjoy them. The photos of pets. I like pictures of dogs and cats. If you have a dog and cat and would like to take photos of your dog and cat, please go to our forum and post the photos of them because I want to see your dog and or cat. I wish to see the baby. All right, so Anyways, we're doing a show here, right? And that is our annual best and worst of episode. We usually do some. Occasionally, we did it in January, but normally we do this in December. And but we've done it every year for the last decade, and so we're doing it again. We did
Better believe it.
We did our first one of these in 2013. I am old and my bones are turning to dust. So, speaking of getting old and turning to dust, film in 2023. Film is always our first category, and so the best movie of 2023. What the heck was the best movie of 2023? What movies came out in 2023? I don't remember anything that was more than a month ago.
Well, I mean, like, I know for a lot of people, a good chunk of the year was Barbenheimer.
That's true. Barbie was really good.
Like, Barbie was very close to being my favorite movie of the year. Frustratingly close.
Barbie was fantastic. I did see that. The other problem is that, like, since the pandemic hit, I have stopped going to movie theaters. And this is really the big problem because unless it comes out, if something comes out in the summer, I'll see it because I can go to the drive-in. But I have yet to feel comfortable going into a regular indoor movie theater again. And so, like I haven't seen the Marvels yet.
Oh, yeah.
I have not seen the Marvels yet. Let's see. I did.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 was excellent.
Yeah, that was really good. Loved that.
Dungeons and Dragons was this year.
Yeah, Dungeons and Dragons was a ride. I really enjoyed that. So was Spider-Verse 2.
Oh god, that was this year also.
Very, very good. TMNT Mutant Mayhem was better than it had any right to be.
I didn't see that.
Oh my gosh, it's so much fun. It's on Paramount Plus. Do yourself a favor.
Yeah, no, I'll have
watch
to.
it.
Magic Mike 3 was disappointing. Tetris was good.
I enjoyed the FNAF movie.
I did not see that because I'm not 13.
I really liked Asteroid City. That was one of my.
That was supposed to be really good. Yeah,
it was amazing.
I want to see it, but I can't.
It's so. Asteroid City was one of those movies that I had to sit with because even having thought about it all these weeks later, I love it. I don't know if I fully understand it. But I like the way that it made me feel, and that's.
I adore his other movies, so yeah. I know I'm gonna love this one. Like that's just my thing I'm going off of. It's just like I love Moonrise Kingdom, I love Grand Budapest Hotel. Like I'm gonna love this one.
It was a truly magical experience.
There's such like this is the year that there's so many movies came out this year, and I'm realizing how many of them I saw. Like. There was a Transformers movie this year.
It was by no means the best, but I don't think it was even the worst either. It
was disappointing. For me, it was
just kind of fun.
It was disappointing because for a movie called Rise of the Beasts, there was very little of the beasts in it.
Now that's fair. I really enjoyed it, but I think it was targeted specifically at me, who was a '90s Transformers fan.
Yeah, well, I feel like if it was targeted at '90s Transformers fan, it would have had more of the '90s Transformers.
Yeah, but that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the G2 to Beast Wars transition. That is my era. I know that's an era for no one else, but for me, that is my era.
And I mean. It's kind of my era in the sense that I started with G1 in the 80s as the target demo and then ended up watching Beast Wars and Beast Machines as a young adult and never really left the franchise in the middle. But, God, Indiana Jones came out this year. Why did that movie happen? Like, don't get me wrong. I enjoyed the Indiana Jones movie. Like, I actually liked the movie, but I spent that entire movie going, who is this for? Who, like, it's for me, right? But I'm 43 years old, and I'm like the youngest group of people who want to see this.
It
costs so much money to make Harrison Ford young.
Hideaki Anno completed his Shin trilogy with Shin Kamen Rider, which was an absolute ride. Maybe not the greatest piece of cinema, but absolutely a beautiful love letter to a 1971 superhero show.
Okay, but I have a contender.
Also, I haven't seen Godzilla -1 yet.
Same.
It's supposed to be really good.
So if it weren't, so that's honestly -1 is probably my vote. Of all the movies I saw this year, that's the one that affected me the most emotionally. I'm being completely sincere right now.
No, I believe you.
Yeah, we have nothing.
I know you, Celeste. I've known you for. Besides knowing you as a friend, I've literally been doing a podcast where we discuss media for over 10 years with you now.
No, yeah, I mean, but I'm saying, like, this isn't just as, like, a Godzilla fan. Like, I have a...
No, but I also know what touches you.
A friend of mine who, with some really bad war-induced PTSD, like, cried at this movie. Because it hit so close to home.
I've read the synopsis and I've seen clips. I just haven't gotten a chance to actually go see it yet.
It's so good.
Again, you were talking though, and I interrupted.
Sorry, again.
It's okay. My contender for best movie is Nimona.
Oh my God!
Crap, that came out this year,
didn't it?
I knew you both forgot. Yes.
No, I just thought it came out last year.
Yeah, my brain wanted to believe that it was 2022.
June.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, I watched it like right after it came out.
Nimona's my vote. Oh God,
I can agree with that because it really nailed it. Love ND. Hope they keep doing this.
There are movies where like they're on and I'm technically watching them, but I'm also like multitasking. Like playing games on my phone at the same time, but that was one where it's like, no, I am like focused on this film. It's so engaging and good.
It was a better Final Fantasy 16 than Final Fantasy 16.
Also, apparently the makers of that film were just ripping off my Pandora playlist. Because I'm like, wait, is that Sahara Hot Nights? That's Sahara Hot. Who in 2023 is listening to Sahara Hot Nights besides me? Like
one other person, and they made this film.
Let me tell you, like, so I watched the movie, and like, I literally went to, like, I was just like, I just want to watch this one fight scene again, and so I went and I put it on, and then I just kept watching the rest of the entire movie again. Like, one night, like, oh God, I love Nimona. Nimona is so good.
Yes.
Oh.
Andy Stevenson can't go wrong.
Oh.
Can't go wrong.
How can you tell that we're a bunch of queer people? Oh, boy.
I have no idea.
Oh, that was like oof.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, like, you know, I still love Godzilla. I was absolutely blown away by Barbie and Asteroid City. But yeah, Nimona's hard to beat. I think that's one we'll agree on.
I was absolutely bawling by the end.
Rightfully so.
Oh, yeah.
Hardcore agree.
I have teared up every single time I've watched that movie.
Yeah, freaking phenomenal. Hard agree.
All right. So I think that we made a consensus on best movie.
Yes, Nimona,
so far
absolutely.
This year.
Nothing has been so unanimously beloved on an episode like this than Pacific Rim back in 2013.
Yeah, that is true.
With that, when that other guy was on the show. All right. Worst movie.
Worst movie. What you got?
I got, well, okay, so like the problem is I watch so many bad movies on purpose that I love but like none that were like bad. You know what I mean? Like I watched a bunch of fun bad movies. Like, you know, my cheesy Christmas rom-coms and stuff.
Well, let's see. The thing, so I guess I should preface this by saying I haven't watched Rebel Moon yet.
I have not watched Rebel Moon yet either.
Me neither.
Everything I'm hearing, I'm gonna be right back to wanting to beat. Zack Snyder had kind of like fixed his reputation in my mind, and it sounds like I'm gonna be right back to wanting to beat him with a folding chair again. So like, I haven't seen that one yet.
My big issue is to like. I mean, number one, I don't have Netflix anymore. But number two, like, I watched the trailer for it, and the trailer is so freaking like long that I'm just like, oh, I don't need to see this movie. I know exactly what happens.
Well, it's his Star Wars spite movie. He wanted to make a Star Wars movie, and Disney said no. So he made a Star Wars movie, just minus Star Wars. He made the movie he wanted to make, minus Star Wars.
Well,
Magic Mike's Last Dance was really disappointing.
Okay.
So I like Magic Mike movies. I do. I really enjoyed the first two. Third movie, really disappointing. I have no idea what they're doing with the Salma Hayek romance. Like, yeah, it's great that she's more age appropriate than you'd usually cast alongside him. And I understand you don't want to bring back Amber Heard after the second movie because of the way Hollywood's turned on her. But like,
well, I mean, she is an assault victim, so why would you want her in a movie?
Right. But that's like, first off, like, you barely, like, the other guys from the earlier two movies are just like in a Zoom call scene. It's this weird premise where he's like directed, like it doesn't really fit. It's tonally different from the other two films, and it's, I don't know. And I feel like, and then like there are all these, like, you don't really get to know any of the guy dancers who are in the show in the thing. So, which is like, I mean, yeah, there's some sexy dancing, but if I just want to watch sexy dancing, I can go rewatch the first two, right? Like, I want character development, and yeah. So I was disappointed with Magic Mike: The Last Dance.
No, that's fair. One that I know that this is a popular one to pick on, and I guess I double checked that it did come out this year, but it is one of those movies that I went in wanting to like. I went in wanting to disagree with the common consensus, and the more I think about it, the more disappointed and sad I am with it. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is an incredibly bad movie.
Yeah.
I really wanted to like it, but every time it started to do something that I liked, then it just took a dump like in front of me and was like, "Oh, you want me to not notice you taking that dump?" Oh, look, Bill Murray. Oh God, we're right back to,
I guess, yeah. I mean, it was, I mean, here's the problem is that I just feel like I went in expecting Quantumania and I got like, it wasn't good, but it was fine. It was like, it wasn't even disappointing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just sort of like, it
sounds like it was very bland.
Yeah, it was bland. It was the white people tacos of movies. Just,
yeah, but I mean, sometimes you like a white people taco.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that, but like when you're expecting, like, at this point, Marvel's got such a reputation under its freaking belt for doing superhero movies, that like when you go in expecting like, oh yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then you get Quantumania and it's like, oh, but I wanted hot sauce on this.
Yeah, like,
can I get some hot sauce on this?
I guess I feel like for a lot of people it wasn't that surprising, but I guess I'm in that weird minority that I really liked the original Ant-Man.
No. The first two Ant-Man movies I think are really good. This was a much worse movie than the other two, right? And I think it didn't feel like an Ant-Man movie. Like, the first two movies were heist movies. We were like, it's when you compare the two different trilogies, right? In the we got 2 third installments this year in the MCU. We got Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, and we got Guardians of the Galaxy 3. One of them was this emotionally fulfilling end cap to these characters, and the other one was bleh.
Yeah, but this completely emotionally engaging finale to characters who the audiences have loved for 10 years that made me ignore how much I hate Chris Pratt. Like,
but I do want to say, it's not like it was Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Okay, that's fuck. That came out this year, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
Also Thanksgiving, the Thanksgiving themed horror film.
Well, we already had Black Christmas and Halloween.
You guys are,
which is
Sorry, go ahead.
The fact that like they actually came out with Thanksgiving the horror film is so freaking hilarious to me. God, because
that's fair.
Well, specifically because
I didn't know that movie existed. I've got to Google that now.
Yeah, it's just Thanksgiving. But there was a spoof trailer in one of Tarantino's films. I forget which one.
Probably one with Grindhouse?
Probably.
It is in fact a direct adaptation of the fictitious Grindhouse trailer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why it's hilarious to me.
Well, because they'd previously done Hobo with a Shotgun and Machete.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but at least that Machete had Robert Rodriguez's.
And it's just like, I can't believe they actually this
is
watching
directed
the trailer
by Eli Roth. That should tell you everything.
Yeah. I like the fact that they took some of the shots from the trailers.
He's the one who directed the trailer. He's the one who directed the trailer because all of those trailers were like guest directed. So Eli Roth created that trailer for Grindhouse.
That's why he replicated some of the scenes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's it. It always. I'm not a big fan of. Here's a joke that works like as a short or as a bit. And let's drag the one joke we have out for an hour and a half. It almost never works.
Yeah, agreed.
I mean, the problem is I never saw I never saw Machete or Hobo with a Shotgun.
I've seen Machete.
Was it good?
I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
It is technically in the Spy Kids universe.
Yeah, because it's Danny Trejo.
He's playing.
He was fantastic in it.
It's not like a good movie that came out this year. Not best category, but we didn't mention it before. And since we're mentioning weird premises, Cocaine Bear. That movie was excellent.
I never saw Cocaine Bear.
Rocked. Oh my god. I don't want to spoil the film, but for people who might be worried about the messaging or that it's trying to make, a victimized animal look bad, take comfort in going into the movie knowing the bear is the anti-hero of the story. She is the anti-hero of the story. Just know that. It rocks. Cocaine Bear.
Was Knights of the Zodiac any good?
It was okay. It really, a lot of people, see, here's the thing, a lot of people didn't like it, but I'm going to be super real with you. As a fan of Saint Seiya, I was blown away by the effort that went into it. I was really impressed by Makenyu, the lead actor. Now, yes, he is Sonny Chiba's Nepo baby, but he has proven himself in things like Kamen Rider Drive and One Piece, and he was pretty excellent as Seiya. A lot of deep cut Saint Seiya characters were included in it. Like, for what they had, you had Makenyu doing a good performance. You had Mark Dacascos being Mark Dacascos.
I love Mark Dacascos.
Yeah, he's great. And Sean Bean's his way through a good chunk of it.
Does he die?
I can't. Oh yeah, I mean he's Sean Bean.
Okay.
What do you expect? And if anyone wants to get upset with me, the character died in the 1980s anime. So
spoilers.
You've had
for 43-year-old media.
Yeah, for this ancient. I'm sorry that I spoiled this ancient cartoon about pretty men in armor punching things for you. Okay, I guess if I'm going to rip on Knights of the Zodiac, it didn't, because it's like an origin story. 3 out of 5 of the titular knights are not in the movie, and as a result, I don't have several vaguely homoerotic scenes of Seiya's friends being like, I'm giving it my all, and then the bad guy going, they're dead for real this time. And then in world 45 minutes later, they're back to life. So actually, it's a terrible Saint Seiya adaptation. That doesn't happen. 0 out of 10. I changed it.
So yeah, I guess my vote is for Blood and Honey.
I haven't seen it, so sure.
I haven't either. I'm just mad that it exists.
I'm voting for Blood and Honey because it makes me reconsider my strongly pro public domain stance. Like, for once, I'm like, actually, maybe public domain sucks. Now I'm not a fan anymore. Never mind. I you know what? Maybe I don't. Yeah, it almost made me start thinking maybe I shouldn't be an active pro public domain person. I don't know if this is what we're going to get. I don't want it.
Can you imagine the awful Mickey Mouse slashers we're going to get based off of Steamboat Willie in about a month?
Yup.
Yeah. Oh God, it's going to be. They're probably already in production.
I'm waiting for the porn parody.
Oh yeah.
That's definitely in post production now.
That's they just have.
Well, no. They're not going to start shooting it until tomorrow. They'll be in post production the day after.
Right.
They got to finish making the mouse costume.
Just as long as they don't use the Ice Capade ones.
Well, no, it has to specifically be the Steamboat Willie version proportions of the character.
Right. It's limited to that.
Yeah, it's limited to that version.
Okay.
So yeah.
And you said proportions, so it can't be the actual mascot suit that has been seen in the parks of a Steamboat Willie version of Mickey.
Not if it's got the modern Mickey proportions.
And it does have the modern Mickey proportions. They just, gray shaded him and gave him the little hat.
Although John Oliver's got a great Steamboat Willie Mickey Mouse that he had in the last few episodes, pointing out that he figured they were still safe because it would fall under parody what they were doing, but they made a full mascot costume of Steamboat Willie.
Jesus.
Mickey Mouse. Anyways, so we got our best and worst movie. Moving on to our next category, TV. Now the rules, listeners, for those of you who haven't listened to before, is that our best and worst of TV are the best always has to be a new series. So just to prevent multiple winners, because if a show's great and it runs multiple years, we don't want it winning multiple times. So the show has got to be a show that premiered in 2023. The worst we're more flexible on. For the worst TV show, it doesn't have to be new, but for the best, it has to be new. There's a lot of good shows this year.
It was a good year for TV, like hardcore.
Yeah. I don't think anything's gonna beat last year's winner of Our Flag Means Death in quality, but
that's a hard hill to climb.
Yeah.
And season 2 of that was
phenomenal.
Yeah.
Which is why we don't let shows win twice.
Yeah, because it would just just be the Our Flag Means Death cast.
Or we'd be fighting over Our Flag Means Death and Good Omens.
That's true. Yeah.
But so new shows this year. I've been enjoying Monarch: Legacy of Monsters, but I don't know if I would make that my favorite.
I haven't watched it yet. I'm very excited too.
Godzilla has shown up multiple times. So, hey, if you ever wanted to see the full scene around every little shot in that montage from the beginning of Godzilla 2014, I'm not kidding.
I'm going to watch Godzilla's tussle with the Russells eventually. I just haven't had a chance to.
All you have to do, the only thing you need before this is Kong Skull Island and Godzilla 2014, because it's taking place. The modern day scenes are all taking place in 2015. This is effectively, I think, to bridge us into King of Monsters.
Okay.
So
makes sense.
Yeah. A movie that came out how long ago, and there's been another movie in the franchise and another one coming out soon. All right, but I think probably I hate to admit this, but my favorite show that came out this last year, I think, was One Piece.
I also thoroughly enjoyed One Piece, although I have one other front runner that's also a Netflix show. But yeah, no, One Piece is the cast is so on point. Once again, my boy Maken Yu as Roronoa Zoro. Excellent casting there. The sheer sincerity of the adaptation is overwhelming. And it doesn't have the pacing of the anime, so it's a huge one up there.
Well, I never watched the anime. Here's the thing, is that I never watched One Piece, the show. Like, I was only familiar with it through osmosis of existing in, anime conventions for, over 20 years.
Well, it's broken 1,000 episodes and it's still going, if that gives you it. So, like...
Well, I figure I'll wait for it to be done and then I'll binge it. No,
Well, here's the thing, though. Much to my confusion, the anime studio WIT and Netflix have announced they're doing a remake of the One Piece anime while the Toei anime is still running.
It's not done!
So, yeah, I know it's not done. We're brotherhooding it while the first one hasn't finished yet.
That's amazing. I didn't even like Brotherhood for that reason.
And here I am, a 4-kids kid. The only One Piece I watched
has got lollipops in it.
I am a little bit sad that at no point do they say, how'd he get like that? Yo ho ho, he took a bite of gum gum, obviously.
Right, like and they don't say yayo yayo.
Yeah, no, yayo, no. Instead, you just have to deal with like really good writing and really sincere characterization of these very over-the-top characters.
And a Nami who's from Minnesota.
Yeah. I was kind of cool with that, though. Like, I like that because the theming of the source material is so built around the idea of a bunch of weirdos from different parts of the world together. I'm glad they went for it.
Yeah, no,
just went.
I like it. It's enjoyable.
Oh.
Yeah, go ahead, Ken.
Ken, go ahead.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw out a couple things that I watched. One of which was Fiona and Cake, because something I did this year was watch all of Adventure Time. And Fiona and Cake was a very nice cherry on that Sunday. Otherwise, Poker Face, super good.
Poker Face, yes.
I haven't watched that yet. I've been meaning to.
Poker Face has driven me down this rabbit hole. So I love Poker Face. And my wife, Krista and I, we watched all of it. And I was like, man, I really want to watch more of the show, but we finished the show. And I was like, hey, Krista, have you ever watched Columbo? And she was like,
yes.
No. And so we watched every episode of Columbo, from Prescription Murder to Columbo Loves the Nightlife. We watched the entire oeuvre of Columbo, like 40 years worth of television. And or probably 30 years, whatever. And we watched all of that, and then when we ran out of Columbo, we started Murder, She Wrote, and now we're in season 7 of Murder, She Wrote. Poker Face has triggered that. I love Poker Face. Oh God, how do I pick between Poker Face and One Piece? Oh,
well, I'm gonna throw another wrench into it, just because I haven't seen One Piece. And I'm very biased about this choice. Twisted Metal is my choice.
God. That was good.
The best show.
Rocked. I haven't watched the rest yet.
I adore Twisted Metal. I cannot wait. They've been out season 2. I was so excited to see how they handle Axel.
Anthony frickin' Mackie.
That was so good too. God, Twisted Metal. I forgot about that. I mean, that was, what was that? Was that Paramount Plus or was that Peacock?
That's
Peacock.
Peacock. It's Peacock. Okay. I subscribe to all of them, and the Peacock and Paramount Plus interfaces are so similar that I sometimes forget which app I'm in.
Yeah, the only reason I know is that I'm not subscribed to Peacock. That's why I've only seen the first episode.
Gotcha. No, it's so good. It's so worth it. They obviously take some liberties with the Twisted Metal continuity, but you have to be annoying like me to know the Twisted Metal continuity to begin with. So it's fine.
Trey, we can maybe we'll do this later, but you and I can sit down and talk Twisted Metal.
I mean, I really haven't played any of the games since Twisted Metal Black.
Black is my favorite.
Black is good. Black is good. We used to play that in the TV
both
lounge
Eric
in Towers.
and one of the reasons why like Eric and I bonded was he showed me Twisted Metal, and I'm just like, yes, good, more, please.
No, but anyways, I really enjoyed Twisted Metal.
I love Twisted Metal. I love how they handled Sweet Tooth. He's my favorite.
Yes, no. Will Arnett does the voice of Sweet Tooth, and a different actor plays the body.
Samoa Joe.
Yeah, Samoa Joe plays the body. Will Arnett does the voice.
Samoa Joe. Fantastic. It's so good.
I have one other TV show, although this could be argued that it would also fit in Thing from Japan for best TV show, but I want to vote for it anyway. Because there's some other really strong contenders for Things from Japan. Scott Pilgrim Takes Off.
That was also really good. Oh God, I loved Scott Pilgrim Takes Off.
I don't know how much I can express how much I loved that show. I played the theme song while I was I got the recording of that theme song, and I would play it while I was walking. The animation by the anime studio Science Saru is
it's hard to
some of their best.
It's hard to say whether or not that belongs in the American TV shows or the best thing from Japan category, because it was written by Americans, but it's very much a Japanese animated production at the same time.
Yeah, it was written by Americans, but the director
Canadians.
is
I'm sorry, Canadians, I should say.
Yeah.
It was written by Canadians. I would like to apologize to Brian Lee O'Malley and the entirety of Canada.
Yeah, Brian Lee O'Malley you have in that writer's seat, but then you also have the director was born in Spain, but is a nativized Japanese citizen and founder of the studio Science Saru, and basically the entire animation staff was Japanese. They did a Bubblegum Crisis reference. Yeah, I mean, it was just a really one of my favorite things.
Yeah, it's that hilarious cover. Here's the thing: is that's the show that got Krista to like Scott Pilgrim, as a franchise, because she absolutely hated the character of Scott Pilgrim after watching the movie.
Understandable.
Yeah,
I think you should.
You're supposed to. You're supposed to.
Yeah.
He's not a good guy. The opening line of the comic is Scott Pilgrim is dating a high schooler.
Mm-hmm.
There are some characters who you're not supposed to like in the beginning. Ask me how I know about this. I've seen Gantz.
But also, she didn't because first off, I've never read the comics either, but if you've only seen the movie, Ramona Flowers is barely a character in the movie. And one of the reasons why I really like the show is because Ramona gets to exist as a person.
Yeah, it is absolutely. It's Ramona's show. She's moving the plot forward, and
I feel like it's very much both of theirs. It's just that you see her more because even when he's not on screen, the story is about him.
True.
So I feel like it's both of their show, which is the appropriate thing.
Yeah, I agree with that. I really liked it. It's probably it gave me a lot of emotional. I wasn't prepared for how emotional that show would make me feel, and it did. And also, I don't know. It was just pleasant.
No, it's good. I like it. It's good. Okay, so I liked it more than One Piece.
Okay.
So I'm stuck between that and Poker Face. Ooh. Cuz they're such different genres.
I need to watch Poker Face. I really One Piece and Scott Pilgrim were my top two. So Netflix kind of dominated for me, but
so Poker Face and Scott Pilgrim are my top two.
And I would go with Twisted Metal and Poker Face.
Mm.
Yeah, Twisted Metal I really liked, but I don't think it gets I didn't enjoy it the way I enjoyed.
I'm weird in how much I enjoyed it.
Again, I haven't watched the rest of it yet, so it's hard for me to say, but just from the first episode, I was like, okay, great acting, Anthony Mackie, and PlayStation 1 deep cuts. I'm here for it.
Oh,
sign me up, please.
I had so much fun, like lore picking, and like we found, oh my gosh, I could go on and on about the stuff we found.
So we've done ties. So right now we've got 2 shows with 2 votes. We've done tie years.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's a way we're gonna break this, because we've got the problem is people haven't seen things.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna have to, like, my thought is that we give it as a tie between Poker Face and Scott Pilgrim Takes Off.
I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah.
I'm really comfortable with that.
Okay. Yeah, which are because like, and also
because I know I'm gonna love Poker Face when I see it.
Like I know,
I just know I will.
Like I know that like I could be the deciding vote just by dropping one of them, but like I feel like they're so different shows, like that it's hard to compare them to each other. And also, the performances are so great on both. But anyways, worst new TV series or worst TV. Give me something shitty.
Okay, I got one, and appropriate word choice. I've had so there is a headline by Rolling Stone writer Alan Sepinwall that has stuck with me since September of this year because I think it's so dead on, and I'd like to quote him for my pick for worst show of the year.
Is it The Idol?
Oh, that's a really strong one, but it's not this one.
Okay.
Elon Musk will find Crapopolis funny. Everyone else, not so much. I don't know why. That has stuck with me. Like, ever since I read that headline, I've been like, I've
never heard of this.
I want to...
Richard Ayoade is in it? I love Richard Ayoade.
Dan Harmon apparently created it. It is
He just created
awful.
by Dan Harmon. I love Dan Harmon. It's got Matt Berry in it.
But it's fucking terrible. It's one of the worst things I've ever experienced.
Keith David?
Very bad. If it makes you feel better, Keith David's going to come up again in something good later.
It was renewed for it premiered in 2022.
Oh, did it?
No, it didn't. Okay, so it
didn't because Alan, because like I said, I remember the premiere.
It only just started airing publicly. Yeah, it's a 2023. The first episode got like previewed.
Okay.
But no, it's 2023 is when it's all 2023. Stephanie Beatrice does an episode. What is this cast? Richard Ayoade is amazing. Matt Berry is amazing.
Berry, I always love to. It's not enough.
Hannah Waddingham.
It's still not enough.
I don't give a crap about Duncan Trussell. But
but I mean, like, comparatively, I do. The Idol probably is more famously gross and terrible, but it's really gross. You guys don't watch it, not even for a joke.
Yeah. My vote was for The Idol. That was where I was coming from. I thought that's where you're going because Rolling Stone famously ripped apart The Idol.
And, I like surprising people sometimes. I don't know that, like I said, that Alan Sepinwall headline just burned into my brain meat. I've had that stuck in my head since September.
I mean, like, okay, and like, there's like, it's the problem with television shows, such a wide category, right? Like, yeah. I can't remember which of these is the real reality show and which is the spoof from like a decade ago from 30 Rock. Which one is real and which one's fake? MILF Manor or MILF Island? I don't remember which one's the real one and which one. One of those is real. One of those was the extreme reality show they made up for 30 Rock. But one of those is currently airing. And
I know that one of them is real, but I don't want to know you're right. I don't want you to be right.
I don't know. Ken, what are your thoughts? Have you been keeping up with MILF Manor and or MILF Island?
Can you tell us which one is real? I'm sorry, guys.
Why are you forcing these things into my Google history? Oh, man. Okay.
I'm only kinda sorry. But only kinda.
I feel nothing but pain. And I wish to make everyone else feel pain. Because I'm going to tell you.
Oh, I know something that... Let me check.
I know which one the real one is.
MILF
Manor's
check
real.
that this
MILF
came
Island
out this
is
year.
face.
Yes, I have a I have one for the worst. It's the Golden Bachelor.
What's wrong with the Golden Bachelor?
Shit, I did hear about that.
Isn't it just The Bachelor but old?
There was issue with the guy where like he didn't
Is there oh, there's a controversy section in the Wikipedia.
Yeah, there's controversy where he didn't disclose of like a current girlfriend or something like that.
Yeah, 3 days before the finale, an expose was published in the Hollywood Reporter claiming that after his wife's death, Turner had been in a 3-year live-in relationship with a woman whom he fat-shamed and mistreated, along with several other previously undisclosed relationships. This contradicts the show's portrayal of him as a lonely widower. Furthermore, despite being depicted as a retired restaurateur on the show, his LinkedIn profile shows his career in sales, marketing, management, and maintenance work. Okay.
I remember hearing about this.
There, you could...
I feel like The Idol is worse.
I really don't care. I don't watch things that are generally terrible, so...
That's fair.
My vote's for The Idol.
I'm going to vote for The Idol as well.
That's fine by me.
All right. Moving on to the category in which we all rely on Celeste really, really a lot. Our From Japan category. This category used to be like best anime, and like we used to be real more specific, and then it devolved into thing from Japan as like we had to get less and less specific over the years. So, Celeste, tell me what the best thing from Japan was.
Okay, so for me there are two notable frontrunners. The one that I already mentioned was Godzilla -1. Phenomenal. But there's one that I keep getting on people's case to watch because I'm frustrated that this didn't make more of a splash, and that is the Netflix anime adaptation of Naoki Urasawa's seminal comic Pluto. I mentioned Pluto back during I want to say the first episodes of Nerd and Tie as a comic I was reading at the time. It got adapted into an anime. Pluto is an adaptation of an early Astro Boy storyline by the author of the comic Monster, but it is the Astro Boy storyline reimagined as a slow burn murder mystery. The animation is so gorgeous that I'm almost speechless. The voice work in both the Japanese and English are absolutely something to write home about, and this is where my promised Keith David return would happen. My jaw hit the floor while watching the dub because Professor Umataro Tenma, the guy who created Astro Boy, is played by none other than Keith David.
Okay.
So if you ever were man, what would Evangelion have been like if Keith David played Gendo? You finally have an answer, basically. Yeah. No. It's haunting. It's beautiful. It's the way that it depicts the sentient robots of the Tezuka universe and the solidarity that they show to each other as a misunderstood and persecuted minority feels like it's a thing that we rarely see in any science fiction, where the writer actually understands solidarity between members of a minority group. The way that the robots talk to each other in Pluto, I'm reminded of like being in a queer community in terms of having each other's backs and having this form of solidarity even with people that I don't necessarily know super well. I can't recommend it enough. It's 8 1-hour-long episodes, and yeah, no, it's so worth everyone's time. Please watch Pluto. I'm begging you.
All right.
Okay.
Do you like it more than Godzilla -1?
I don't know.
I haven't seen either, Celeste. I'm relying on you and your opinions to tell me what to think.
I know. It's such a, like, both of these are such incredibly strong, like, titles. And, like, I don't know, I didn't feel like there was, like,
1940s Godzilla or Astro Boy Noir.
I mean, that's absolutely fair description of each of them. Oh my god. If push comes to shove, I still have to give it to Godzilla.
Okay.
It was an amazing movie, but everyone should watch Pluto anyway.
Godzilla -1 going into my official list because I do actually keep all of these in record. All right. So Godzilla -1 is the best thing from Japan in 2023. What's the worst?
Well, so the most obvious shoe-in I already shouted out last year. So we don't need to talk about how we should not be supporting Rurouni Kenshin because it's created by a pedophile who never saw justice for his crimes.
Rurouni Kenshin is bad.
But there's a bigger problem that the anime industry has been suffering of for the last few years that really came to a head this year in ways that I need to call out. It's been obvious for people who have been in the anime scene for a while that the industry is changing wildly. Sometimes for the better, but in several ways for the worse as well. Season orders for shows are a lot shorter, and while that can sometimes mean more streamlined, easy to follow stories with less filler, because we all pretend that there's never been any good filler ever.
Because less filler also means less character development.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's so quick to say filler is instantaneously bad and just miraculously forget that all of the inner senshi from Sailor Moon don't actually have personalities in the source material, and it was the filler that gave them that. Stuff like that. Anyway, but there's a bigger thing. A monster in our midst, and what made worse by the fact that it is a studio with a lot of sway, with a lot of very big name titles that they keep working on, and who have even produced several things, including ones that we have called best shows of the year in years past. I'm talking about the company MAPPA right now and their horrible mistreatment of their workers. MAPPA has been infamous for their for mistreatment of their labor, overworking their staff, making them burn out, and we only heard rumors of it, but that got so much worse in the last couple of months as the second season of the phenomenal Jujutsu Kaisen wrapped up. Now, don't get me wrong, Jujutsu Kaisen looks beautiful. It's great. The first season was just astounding, and the second season is even better. But it doesn't change the fact that it's not fair that the people who animated and brought about that beautiful work were so miserably treated by MAPPA. This has involved several MAPPA animators have gone onto their social media to talk about how they haven't seen their families in days, sometimes weeks, that they have been behind schedule for the entire season, and at some points have even threatened to quit working on the show.
Nobody wants to work anymore.
Yeah, no, it's just absolutely... Even in this awful climate where we have seen so many artists getting screwed over by big name companies, it's hard for me to pick any studio in Japan that is treating its talent much worse than MAPPA.
Yeah, because they make Chainsaw Man, don't they?
They did Chainsaw Man.
Which won our best thing out of Japan last year.
They also did some other ones. They did, if I'm not mistaken, the later seasons of Attack on Titan were them, which I don't have very nice things to say about that thing's creator, but still.
I know, but I mean, like, I guess, like, I don't necessarily want to. That's kind of a score against them if you're making the later seasons of the anti-Semitic anime.
Yeah, Vinland Saga, which is almost the anti-Attack on Titan in a lot of ways. My beloved Zombieland Saga, that was an original series that they produced. Yeah, no, MAPPA is this massive conglomerate. They were founded in 2011, and they've had this really good reputation because they want things to come out with really beautiful animation. There's some other big ones from recently: the Dororo adaptation from a couple years ago, Hell's Paradise, Yuri on Ice.
Yeah, the Yuri on Ice, the movie Ice Adolescence, which is coming out next year, most likely.
Yeah, all of their... So MAPPA is this...
I too pulled up Wikipedia.
MAPPA is this really big studio, and yeah, the way that they have treated they're like, it was even... At first, I almost thought it was a joke, but there's a really disturbing bit. I finally read the Chainsaw Man manga this year. Legitimately amazing comic book. Every bit as good as the adaptation. But I can't help but notice one of the scenes that didn't make it into the anime is there's a scene of the main character Denji sitting in the bathtub, and him sitting in the bathtub after having a home for the first time, that got animated. But in the manga, he's sitting in the bathtub singing about how nice it is to have a union job. And I can't help but notice MAPPA cut out the song about the union job. I wonder why.
All right, so it's MAPPA is getting our worst thing from Japan this year.
Yeah, worst thing from Japan is the mistreatment of staff by MAPPA. Yeah.
I'm just putting down MAPPA.
Yeah,
people can listen to the episode for context. Well, I just tag the episode, like the stuff into the website. People listen to the episode to get to the actual winners and losers anyways.
No, that's fair.
Yeah, all right. So yeah, I think we've come to a decision there.
Oh, I just want to mention Trigun Stampede was okay.
Oh yeah,
good.
In all the joy of Pluto, yeah, I loved Trigun Stampede. It was wonderful.
I don't believe anyone has anything bad to say about it. It's just I think that Celeste's still going to vote for Godzilla -1 over it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But like the CG, it is Trigun Stampede is the platonic ideal of how beautiful CG anime can be. Like if you try.
Mm-hmm.
And not reboot. Anyways, they did just find the master tapes of Reboot.
Can't wait.
They don't have a video player for them though.
Oh no. Oh no.
Yeah. There's a whole thing going on in the basement of former Mainframe. All right, moving on to our next category, and that is video games in 2023. Best video game entries. I'm just going to say it before our audience murders us. Baldur's Gate 3.
I haven't played it yet, but everyone I've talked to is obsessed with it. So
yes, Baldur's Gate 3.
Chew
It won Game of the Year at the Game Awards for good reason. Everyone got obsessed with it.
You can modify
There's all that
your
content
penis
and no
side.
DLC. Yeah.
yes.
That too.
You could.
And you could have a girl with a penis like I did.
Yay.
She's very
Hell yeah.
I chose the tallest, like one of the big. There's like big and little drow, and I got a big one. And she's very good.
Hell yeah.
So
rock on Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 definitely Game of the Year. I'd like to shout out Tears of the Kingdom. That's very good, very fun.
Also known as Torment of the Koroks.
Yeah. One of my personal favorites, Dredge, indie fishing game that came out this year that I absolutely love.
I heard that was fun.
Yes, I cannot wait for the freaking. There's gonna be a crossover between Dredge and Dave the Diver, and I'm just like so excited for it. I'm here for it. Oh, I cannot wait. I love those games. But yeah, this is super easy this year.
Yeah. I have not played Baldur's Gate 3. I spent most of my 2023 playing old DOS games from the 90s, like Raptor Call of the Shadows and Sims 4. So, but I've heard good things about Baldur's Gate 3. So, Gen has played it though.
Yep, I have.
I basically the only video games I have spent any time on this year were replaying Nier, phone games, and Cult of the Lamb. That's been
I have Octopath Traveler 2, Octopath Traveler 2, and Oxenfree 2 sitting like for my Switch, ready to be played, and I keep not having time. And then I went and wrote a couple novels instead of playing them.
I should play Oxenfree 2. I really liked the first one.
I did too, and yeah, I bought it. I just have not started the game yet. And like it only took it's not like the first one was a long game to play, so I don't know why I haven't just, taken a weekend and played it. Ugh. All right. So I think I'm just going to vote for Baldur's Gate 3 because
same.
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate 3. So the worst game of 2023, controversial take, I'm going to say The Day Before.
Ooh.
Because
I don't
everything.
think I know that one.
I don't think I know that one.
Yeah.
Oh God, you guys haven't been paying attention? What happened?
I must have missed it. I was just gonna make fun of Gollum. But the year that I finally get my spouse to read Lord of the Rings and like Gollum gets a terrible video game. I think it's like a karmic.
So the day before got advertised for started in like 2021 was when it was first announced. And there was all the stuff that the developers have shown. The developer Fantastic had been showing for years, and God, how did I it turns out, and what happened was, so it finally came out for early access in December of this year, just like a few weeks ago, like December 7th, and every single supposed gameplay thing that had been shown pretty much has been proven to be a lie. And a lot of assets were stolen in it. The game that came out was nothing like what was planned when it came out for early access. And then literally, again, December 7th is when this comes out. On December 11th, and this is an online game, December 11th, the developer announced they were closing their doors. The game had failed financially. They could not afford to continue operating. and took the whole game down and then closed the studio on the 22nd of December.
Oh my gosh.
The servers will technically stay online for a couple more weeks, but they're going to get shut down permanently. And that's just the look. Stephanie Sterling's video on this is what you should be watching. Don't listen to me recap it really shittily. Go watch Stephanie Sterling's video on this and marvel at what the crap just happened.
Wow.
Yeah, that's I must have missed that one. I try to watch
It's okay, it was
Stephanie's
easy to
stuff
miss
every week.
It was easy to miss.
Yeah.
The game, the developer closed their doors 4 days after launching the game.
Okay, that takes an easy win.
IGN panned many of the game's aspects, calling it wholly disappointing and easily one of the worst games they've ever played.
Wow.
Rick Lane of Games Radar said, "There are no meaningful ideas, no distinctive mechanics, no creative stylistic choices, and certainly no compelling characters." You can imagine what the Steam comments were like.
Oh my God. I imagine an absolute shit show. That's all I can. Oof.
So the day before?
Yep.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, I think Gollum's been dunked on enough.
Yeah.
Yikes.
All right.
Holy crap.
Conventions. Our final category. Cons. I only went to a convention I was running this year, so I am staying out of the best conversation. Now, okay, so criteria for listeners.
Ironically, I was only at that convention for 11 hours.
All right, so just a reminder criteria. For our best con, it has to be a con. You can only vote for cons you went to, and worst con can be any con. But the best con has to be one you went to, and you can't have worked for it. So I have no opinions on conventions this year.
I only attended one convention, and technically a craft show, but it doesn't count because it's a craft show. Oh no, I did visit EverCon.
Yeah, you did. You went to EverCon this year.
But only as an attendee.
Still counts.
So that's why
that still counts. Yeah. I'm trying to remember if I went to anything other than, obviously, for those who might have missed it, I was supposed to be at No Brand Con, but then my father tragically passed away. So
you were at the con while it was open.
So I was at the con for like 2 of its operating hours of the 11 hours I was up there.
That's not true. Technically, the VGR was open for like 4 or 5 hours by the time you left.
Okay, that's fair. Let's see. So
yeah,
like Kitsune, I was at Kitsune.
Was I at Kitsune? The problem when I don't sell at conventions, I forget that I even went to them. That's the problem.
If you were, I don't remember running into you. Like, I feel like we would have done something. Maybe.
Right?
No, wait. Maybe you were. Eric was at Keats? I feel like Eric was at Keats at least.
I think we just went for like a day.
Yeah, you were there for like a day.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah, I do
that's
remember
why I didn't remember it, because I was only there for like Saturday. Because he wanted to see how the dance went, because that's his baby.
That's fair.
I mean, okay, so here was my initial thought. I would put No Brand as best convention because I got to see all my friends, and worst convention because of circumstances outside of anyone's control.
Well, let's not talk about worst yet.
Okay.
Because we got some humdingers.
That's right. Never mind.
I mean, Keats, I can informedly say, was a really entertaining convention that had, this year had a really good Whose Line panel and a phenomenal Gundam is Antifa panel.
Yeah, I was gonna say, didn't you have some fantastic panels you ran?
Yeah, that one I had some real fun running panels at that bad boy. I feel bad because I hardcore researched for a bunch of panels for No Brand that I didn't get to do. I was so excited for the anime musicals panel. You have no idea.
Oh, yeah.
None of you have any idea. I have so much footage that is waiting for the next con I can use it at because mostly because you know what? I don't know how many people are going to hear it anyway. It's all me bearing the lead. The Death Note musical's really good. Everyone needs to listen to it. But that's the whole point of the panel. That's why I did it. That's it. Everything else secondary. But yeah, crap. I don't feel informed enough to, because everything I was planning to do this year, I ended up canceling because I was planning a funeral.
Yeah. I'm so happy that you're at a point. Laugh. No, I'm personally happy that you're at a point where you can laugh at it now. Like, that makes me happy.
I mean, no, fair.
You're right. It's absolutely ridiculous and kind of morbidly hilarious.
This is one of those things that's probably only going to get funnier with time, if I'm going to be perfectly real with you, for me anyway, and will make everyone else deeply uncomfortable. So, perfect, really. But
well, you know what? I'm still going to say No Brand was the best one because I got to see the two of you.
I thought No Brand had in addition to seeing my friends, and getting comforted, upon the untimely loss of my father with all of my friends there, that was incredibly convenient. So yeah, I guess No Brand actually kind of has a leg up in that regard. Because I'm sad I didn't get to do the con itself per se, but also I don't know what I would have done had I not had that support network there at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Could have been real bad.
Are you guys voting for No Brand Con again?
We're voting for No Brand Con, god damn it.
Okay. Well, it won't be eligible for 2024, so may as well win now.
Oh, is that official then? Or
so we haven't made an announcement, but we have decided that we're going to take 2024 off.
Okay.
Yeah. We're still regrouping and replanning, and there's going to be an official announcement in the new year pretty soon. I haven't written it yet, but those of you who listened an hour and 13 minutes into this podcast, you get the scoop, and don't tell anyone because I haven't made the official post yet. As I'm head
it's
of
a
PR.
Secret.
Internally, it's well known, and I think a lot of people could guess just based on the fact that we haven't announced a date yet.
Yeah.
All right.
Still.
Yeah. Anyways, so the worst con. I need to run down 2023 for y'all before we make this decision because we have quite a few stories in 2023. First off is Neo Anime Oasis banning any cosplay that isn't from a manga or an anime.
Amazing.
There's that. We have God, what else is on the list here? We've got all right, so we've got OhioCon leadership and the OhioCon leadership on strike, and all the chaos happening at OhioCon. Then there's Atomic Monster Weekend, where fucking O'Neil Pignani canceled his con again and ran away. And we've got Colossal Con North's entire cosplay contest staff walking off site because of alleged mistreatment from management.
Ah, jeez.
Now, I'm just going to say, I don't want to put OhioCon on the list. I don't want to consider OhioCon only because while there is stuff going down, the effects are not going to be felt until January. Aren't going to be felt until the actual convention happens, and we'll see how much that actually affects the convention. The SESI board is doing something, has been doing some shitty stuff, and I feel like when we consider everything, we should be looking at it as the year the convention takes place. So I want to take...
So, OhioCon, you guys, good news for you. You've basically got, like, a big leg up on getting worst for 2024.
Yep,
like,
that's right. For 2024, you are the front runner. You are the front runner going into next year's race, guys. And I really want to let you know that, like, we are rooting against you winning that. We hope you pull your heads out of wherever they are and get your stuff together. But
also solidarity with everyone striking right now.
Yeah,
you
solidarity
give them hell,
forever.
Guys. Sorry. Yeah. Give them hell, guys. If in the event that anyone who is striking right now is listening, the good folks have your back. We believe in you. We're cheering for you right now. Give them hell.
Yeah, it's I'm from a union family. I'm not in one, unfortunately, because we live in a capitalist network. But anyways, so here's the question. So really, I think it really does come down to Colossal Con North and Atomic Monster Weekend, and I can't tell you which is worse because on the one hand, I feel like the staff mistreatment, while awful, is not as bad as, like, scamming your attendees. However, Atomic Monster Weekend didn't happen.
So does it actually count?
Does it count?
Yeah. Oh, crap.
So I feel like Atomic Monster Weekend did something worse.
For sure. But they kind of disqualified themselves.
But Colossal Con North was an actual convention.
Oof.
Is Colossal Con's success their own downfall? In our
was the fact that the con actually happening?
In our meaningless selection of best and worst awards that, like, maybe 5 people outside of this Skype call care about? Arkham at home is sitting like going like, no, I'm taking notes. I'm comparing. Like everybody else is like, the rest of our listeners just sort of have us on in the background and are going, hopefully Trey will say something funny, and Celeste will reference Transformers, and Gen will be allowed to speak. And I don't really care what they're saying though.
Whoever's out there, Ultra Magnus, that's for you.
I can't deal with this now.
Nova Prime. That's for Sean.
I don't have a Nova Prime quote.
Something, I don't know. I don't know any Nova Prime quotes. Something I'm a fascist. I don't know. That's probably something he'd say.
Speaking of fascists, no. What should we going with here?
Oh, crap. Oh.
We didn't even pick anything referencing Sticky Vicky this year. That's how unimportant he is. I gotta tell you, like, so there's this guy, and, like, we're deep in the episode. So, yeah, Sticky Vicky. Vic Mignogna. Sticky Vicky.
Well, I was just thinking, More like Icky Vicky.
That's true. Yeah. I was more thinking about what's on his hands, but
I don't want to think about what's on his hands.
Yeah, we've shown that photo of him hugging you too many times. But no, so I'll tell you on the Vic Mignogna episode, however long ago that was, this one guy came back and commented more, and I'm just like, yeah, because it's like he went back to the comment section on that 2022 episode, and just to tell us that God, let me find this. Yeah, he came, like, it was December 18th of 2023. He came back to the comment sections and Vic will bounce back. You cannot break my hope or faith. I'm like, sir, this is a Wendy's. This is
yeah.
This is sad that you are on our website over a year after that episode went out, still at it. Why?
My favorite thing are the people who want to come in to defend Vic, who, to prove that he's gonna come back, dredge up things reporting on the crimes he allegedly did, as if that's what's gonna help him.
My favorite thing is where they start going, well, but this other guy did these bad things, and I'm like, right, oh, maybe, I don't know, I haven't looked into that, but even if everything you're saying is true, what's your point? Like, saying, but that guy's an arsonist doesn't really defend, the guy who just, killed someone. I mean, Vic Mignogna has never killed anyone that I'm aware of. I was merely using that as a different crime that someone could commit without referencing anything that Vic has actually allegedly done. I want to be very clear.
Man, but how great would it be if one of the next Marvel movies, it's like, the Avengers get together and it's like, we're here to stop you, Kang. Hey man, do you know what the High Evolutionary did? That guy's a dick. You can't get on my case.
Yeah.
That guy's still out there, probably.
Loki.
Yeah.
Why are none of you trying to cancel Loki?
Yeah, man.
Anyways, I didn't mean to bring up Icky Vicky. You're right, Ken. Icky Vicky's better. We're going with Icky Vicky from now on.
It just rolls off the tongue.
I think we're done ever saying his actual name again.
Oh, yeah.
I'm making a declaration right here from now on, and this will be the last time I say it. Vic Mignogna will never be referred to by his actual name again. He's going to be Icky Vicky from now on. I'll tag him with his real name. I'll put his real name in the descriptions for SEO values, just so I can get that sweet, sweet ad revenue when Vic stands show up in my comment sections a year after an episode goes out. But, yeah, he doesn't get his name set. I'm sorry I brought up Icky Vicky. Honestly, the only reason I'm thinking about Icky Vicky is because the Vic stand showed up in the comments section. Anyways. So, worst con... The one that happened or the one that didn't? Is it worse to be so bad that your con does not occur, or to hold a con where the awful thing happens?
Personally, I think it's worse to have it not occur in the first place.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm actually kind of with Gen on this one. Like, okay. I do not want to let Colossal off the hook, but I also think, like,
but at least they ran a convention.
Didn't take the money and run.
Right. Okay. Great. Yeah. I'm all for it. It was like I was undecided between the two, and that was my question I had. You know what I mean? Like that was the question.
Yeah.
Colossal
Con was marginally more successful because they actually ran.
Yeah, and unlike other conventions at the Kalahari, nobody has spread malicious libel about my friends on their management, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing. It's
got to be a step in the right direction, right?
It's a step.
Fucking A.
I don't know what directions it's in, but it's a step.
No, it's a step. Let's just Let's just take the step. That's a good step.
I think you need to start. So Celeste, I'm telling you, you need to start doing your video game streams under the subtitle of "Start period Win period," and I'm just saying that should be the branding on any like actual play streams you do.
That's not a bad idea, honestly.
Right?
I like that.
Right? Yeah. So I'm smart.
I like that.
I like it. Good. Anyone who's listened to this deep into the episode, they've gone an hour and 25 minutes into this thing, and they're like,
"What are you doing?
What is happening? What have we done with our lives? What choices have we made that have gotten us here?" Oofda. All right, that is all of our categories. So to review: best movie of 2023, Nimona. Worst movie, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Best new TV series of 2023, a tie between Poker Face and Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. Worst new TV series, The Idol on HBO, starring The Weeknd. Best thing from Japan, Godzilla -1. Worst thing from Japan, Mappa. Best video game, Baldur's Gate 3. Worst video game, The Day Before. Best con, No Brand Con. Worst con, Atomic Monster Weekend. And I think that is the list. Everybody clap.
Woo!
Yay. We did it.
Hooray. All right, folks, that means there's one more thing to do here, and that is the Vomit Hat Steve Challenge. I just can't stop reading this book. None of you are picking the goddamn thing.
No one's playing anymore.
Here. Yeah, I know. They all give up by this part of the episode. Well, it's because they're all in the goddamn Hall of Awesome.
Yeah, everyone who played is already in.
Yeah. But it's okay, because we're going to keep going. This is the last book. I've been doing this last book for over a year now, but it's the last book. It's been living on my desk. All right. So I'm not even going to explain the rules. Screw it. You don't get to know the rules. If you don't know what the rules are, just guess the book. I'm going to read a line. Guess the book. All right? If you guess correctly and you live in the lower 48, I'll ship you the book. I want to get this book off my desk.
How is that for a prize?
Yeah, I announced
I'd buy
that
that for
a year
$1.
ago. All right. Here's the line. Wesley picked it up eagerly. Using the outboard ultra-high-resolution multispectral imaging sensor system, selecting any desired magnification. If you know what book that's from, go to nerdandtie.com, click on the contact form, fill out the contact form, tell me the name of the book, and you could get this book. Also, if you guess correctly, get included in the Hall of Awesome. The members of the Hall of Awesome are as follows: Arkham Izera, Raina Innocenti, Cheesy McDamu, Krista, Slithery, Shameless Otaku, The Random Ramblings Band, Corfan, Capito, Chris Graham, Lilisaurus, Paper Godzilla, Cavsy, The Minnesota Librarian, Sean Orange, Arcady, Sakura Sunset, Joel Kreisman, Patrick Delahanty, Wonderland Hearts, and Megsy Sass Council. Wow. If you guess the book, you get on that list. You get on that
the list.
Get on the list.
Come on.
Get on there. Get
good. Get on the list.
Get on the list. Get good. I gave you a big freaking hint, and I gave you a character name. Anyways, I guess that wraps up 2023 in a neat little bow. I am Trey Dorn.
I continue to be Celeste Dartwin.
I'm the Genjamin.
And remember, you can subscribe to this show on Apple Podcasts, on YouTube now, because Google Podcasts is going away because Google quits everything. But you can now actually subscribe to this thing on YouTube. Find it. It's on my old YouTube channel, I guess. That's where I'm putting it. Deal with it. Besides that, you can Spotify. Spotify's good. Spotify. Join our forums at nerdandtie.social. It's a cool place to hang out with cool people, and those cool people are us. You can also join our Discord and find invite at nerdandtie.com/discord. You can support the show by sponsoring episodes. Also, I have a Patreon at patreon.com/TRAEGORN. Celeste has a Patreon at patreon.com/CelesteIsBest. And Gen sells things on the internet as Cryptid Arcade. What's in the shop right now, Gen?
I have plush dolls of the Fresno Nightcrawlers. Get yourselves a cute little pair of pants.
Yes.
That's exciting. All right. And remember, in your hopes and your dreams, in the places you swear you never were at night, you can also follow us on social media. That's right. I didn't go where you thought I was going. I went to the social media plug. You can follow us on Twitter, I guess, at Nerd and Tie. Stuff happens on that Twitter account. I don't know what, but it does. You can follow us on Tumblr, because we're on Tumblr still, nerdandtie.tumblr.com. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/nerdandtie. Get us in the same place that you get your mom's cat posts. It's the best thing ever. And remember, somewhere right now, someone is out there looking at the stars, at the same stars that you are right now, and they're thinking, why did I watch Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey? Why did I watch that movie? What is wrong with me where I have made this life choice? And remember,
could have watched fucking Pluto.
And remember, that doesn't have to be you.
No.
We've already told you. We've told you not to watch it. We've told you not to do it. We've told you that there are better things out there, better things in the world. Things that are bright and colorful and joyful and not full of a horrifying, stupid mask because Winnie the Pooh went into the public domain. And remember, Disney only let Mickey Mouse go into the public domain because Mickey Mouse is no longer a large enough part of their business for it to be a disadvantage for them to allow it to be in the public domain, because they have grown into such a large corporate organization. The only reason why they have allowed Mickey Mouse to pass into the public domain is because he is no longer monetarily valuable to them. But also remember, while you can make things with that copyrighted character, they still own the trademark Mickey Mouse and the trademarks on his imagery for the current form. So when you're using that public domain character, please be careful how you do so, because they still have legal protections. Disney never would have let it happen if they didn't have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
And like and subscribe or something.
Have yourself a piece of chocolate.
Say your catchphrase, Celeste.
Keep on spocking in the free world.
And remember, folks, all of this only had meaning because you decided it had meaning. And that makes this art. So this was art. This entire podcast, all 1 hour, 33 minutes, and now 5 seconds. This was art.
Listen, I'm just happy people still care what I have to. I'll have a new video out soon, someday, probably.
Art.
I'm like a low quality H-bomber guy.
No.
So let me tell you, the H-bomber
a video a year, but I haven't.
That H-bomber guy video came out, and people were like, "It's 4-hour video essay too long." But I just watched a 9.5-hour video on Sam and Cat, and it was the third video in a series. And I'm 43 years old. I was a full-ass adult when that show came out, and I never watched a single episode, but I watched a 9.5. I watched my third multi-hour. That's not even talking about the Victorious videos or the iCarly videos, or like, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me?
Celeste,